Have you ever felt like your ex is still lurking in shadows? It's like no matter how hard you try to move on, they are still there, popping up in your stories, liking your post, or even watching you from a distance. It's frustrating, it's confusing, it's painful. Why do men do that? Why do they seem to hunt women long after a relationship is over? Hello fam, how you all doing? Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe. In today's video, I will be discussing reasons why men hunt women after a relationship and what that actually means.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's exchange Instagrams. And then we exchange Instagrams and then boom, they're gone. They don't ever talk to me again. They'll stop texting back or
they still watch your story though, don't they?
They still watch your story.
That's what is that? It's called haunting.
Haunting means when your ex or your past romantic partner is continually engaging with you on social media without any intention of wanting to reconnect with you. You might see them liking your posts, commenting on your posts, watching your stories, following you, but they don't have any intention of reconnecting with you, having a chat with you. So the question is, why are they doing that? Why do they do that? Let's talk about it. Inability to let go is one of the reasons why men do what they do. It could be this man is struggling to let go for a good reason. Maybe he's clingy, he really misses you, but he doesn't know how to come talk to you. So he derives joy from watching you from afar. It could be that. Or it could be the negative part. He doesn't really care about the relationship, but he doesn't want you to be with another man. He doesn't want another man to have you. He's jealous of that. Maybe you were good to him, so it's hard for him to let you go. It's hard for him to let another man have you, even if he's not willing to make changes and treat you better. So you can look at it from two different points, the good side and the negative side. Some men are very clingy, and it could also be for the clingy man, the relationship is really hurting him. He can't stay without you. He can't move on. He's struggling, is a hard time for him. So him sticking around and watching you is assisting him in his moving on process. That's if he's actually moving on. He just might still be sticking around due to guilt and remorse.
There are some guys who will do something to lose you or even leave you, yet refuse to leave you alone. And I know that sounds crazy, it's confusing, but the whole point of this is to lose the relationship and the responsibilities that come with it without losing access to you and the benefits that come with that. And the reason why is because whenever a guy does this, he sabotages the progression, the momentum of the relationship and keeps it in the beginner stages with those beginner expectations. So if you ever been with a dude and y'all were talking and vibing, as soon as things started to really get good, he fell back or just went cold or even ghost. But he didn't completely go away. Matter of fact, he came back later with, oh, I just had a whole lot going on. Yeah, what was going on was he wanted to make sure that y'all stayed at that starter point. And so what you would do is the same thing that a teacher would do if this was a student coming to class only for orientation, but when it was time for the test and the finals, they were MIA, they were absent. You know, a lot of women these days will flunk them. No, you don't flunk them over and over again. They know that they're flunking. You expel them. You prevent them from coming in your class, because the more times that you let this flunky come in and take up a seat, the more times you're preventing a seat from what would be a valedictorian out there who's ready to graduate your class with honors. And no, I'm not talking about school.
Some people feel guilty after a relationship and they become regretful and remorseful due to how they had treated you in the relationship. Maybe they will start wishing, or if they had known, they would have done differently so as not to lose you, to still have the relationship going on. So it could be the guilt that is making him stick around, or the fact that he's feeling remorseful for how he treated you. That's for the good part. I think it's a positive, because if someone is thinking about what they did and they're being remorseful, it's a positive, but that does not mean that the person has changed. Some people can dwell in that emotion of feeling bad, but are you making effort to become a better version of yourself? No. So you just sink and soak themselves in that guilt feeling. So it could be that's what he's doing, and that might be the reason why he's still sticking around, just to see, okay, since I treated her badly, I hope she's doing okay. I hope she has found a better person, which I know a lot of men don't want a woman they've been with to be with another man. A lot of men have that in them, even if they might not accept. Let's say he's an exception, so maybe he's just sticking around to see if you're doing better, if you're okay, and the fact that he's feeling guilty, maybe the way he treated you, so he's just wishing for the best. That could be the reason why he's sticking around.
After an avoidant discard, it is actually very, very common for your avoidant ex to try and do something called breadcrumbing. This is when they drop little clues, little hints that maybe they're still interested in me. Maybe they're regretting leaving me. Maybe they miss me. They might like a social media post of yours. They might start watching your stories. Maybe they ask a friend about you, or they even send you a text. Hey, how are you? Something very generic, usually not a direct contact, usually an indirect contact, but something that they leave out there as bait to see if you take it. Because if you take the bait, you're giving them validation. You are giving them reassurance that you still want them. You are letting them know that you are still an option in their back pocket and they can still have you if they want you. This breadcrumbing usually does not mean that they're ready to take you back. It doesn't mean that you should take them back. And it doesn't mean that they're even in a position where they're considering rekindling the relationship. And it also doesn't mean they're committed to any kind of meaningful change to work on their avoidant attachment. It doesn't mean anything other than the avoidant is looking for validation. Remember, this is somebody who usually has very low self-esteem, a low sense of self-worth. And if you take the bait on these breadcrumbs, you are giving somebody that has lots of insecurities the validation that they feel like they need to feel better about themselves in the moment. But it does not mean that they regret their actions enough to try to come back and also work on themselves. So don't take the bait if they're breadcrumbing you. Keep your own dignity. Do not chase somebody who doesn't want to be caught. Trust me.
Stop letting guys breadcrumb you. If you have to continually ask what y'all are, if y'all are going to be anything, 9 times out of 10, y'all aren't going to be anything. He already knows who his favorite sports team is. He knows who his favorite player is. He doesn't have to think about that. But when you ask him what y'all are, why does he always have to think about it? Because he doesn't want to be with you. Men are always sure about what they want. And if you're not what he wants, stop letting him breadcrumb you and move on from that toxic shit.
Some men might be sticking around due to immaturity and game. If that man was a player in that relationship, he will be hurting for having you walk away. Players don't like the people they play on to walk away. They want to be the ones walking away. So if that happens, that man will be coming back because it's part of his game. They will go and come back. They will love bomb you, breadcrumb you. When they come back, they will tell you things they feel like you want to hear. They will text you on and off. They still want to play that game. They still want to keep the game going. Even if you were the one that left them or they left you, they still want to keep the game going. So having him come back, maybe text you or watch you on social media, does not mean that he really loves you. It just could be part of his game. It's certainly part of his game. So it's the immaturity there that is playing out. Some men might be coming around due to lack of closure. Not all relationship ends on the right note. Some people just have a big fight and that's the end. They never discussed about what the issue was. They never agreed to go their separate ways. So some people can't really move on without closure. The way it's affects women, it does affect men equally as well. So some men might be sticking around because they really want closure from their partner. They want to hear what really happened. Why did you leave me? Some people can just wake up and just pack their things and leave the relationship. No words, nothing. It could also be that they were just happy. They had no issue. They just packed it back and leave. I don't think anyone would want to find themselves in this situation. Like you being on the receiving end, your partner just left. You people had you people had no issues whatsoever. You had no fight. Your relationship seemed perfect, seemed okay. Your partner just left, disappeared into thin air. So in cases like that, people want closure. So they might be sticking around, hoping to get closure. But is closure really necessary? I think it's necessary for a lot of people. Some people can't just move on without closure because they will keep asking, what did I do? What happened? Why did they leave? Was I not good enough? So they need answers to those questions they have in their head.
Should you at least get closure from your ex before you move on? Some exes can be really cold about how they handle breakups. You didn't get a conversation. You didn't get a deeper understanding as to why this happened in the first place. They just abruptly ended things, and just like that, walked away like the relationship meant nothing. So it's natural to feel like they owe you some kind of meaningful feedback as to why they are leaving. But it's a mistake to put your life on hold and essentially put your power in your ex's hand to give you permission to move forward to bigger and better things. They just walked away from you. They just treated you like you didn't matter. Why would you put your life on pause waiting for them to do you the honors of picking up your life after they left it in pieces? You deserve better. Hope this is helpful. Peace.
Some men might be sticking around due to unresolved feelings. Breaking up in a relationship does not necessarily mean that the feelings you have for the person has gone, or you just kill the feeling immediately, or the feeling is going to just die off immediately you end the relationship. It doesn't really work that way for everybody. Some people still struggle with their feelings, especially if they had genuine feelings towards that person or they really love the person. It's going to be really hard for them to move on, regardless of who broke up or who initiated the breakup. They might love you and still be the person that broke up with you. So regardless of who broke up, if there is unresolved feeling, it's something that they will be struggling with. So having them, this dog is annoying me, I swear down. So if they still have that feeling for you, it might make them to still stick around and maybe hoping that you might come back to them someday. So sticking around might make them feel good. Seeing you from afar might also give them a good feeling. So that might be also a reason why some men still stick around after breakup. It could be sticking around due to curiosity and the fear of missing out. Some men believe that after a relationship breakup, the woman might not find a better person, a better replacement. They feel like they were the best thing that ever happened to that woman. And they also feel like that woman might never amount to anything good. So they just keep sticking around to look at what you've been up to. If you're doing way better than them, they become upset, don't want you to progress. You're just like a monitoring spirit. What is she doing? Who is a new man? Or has she got a job? Is she still living in the old house? Or has she changed her dress sense and all that? They're just watching you closely. And while you're watching you, they don't want you to grow. They're not watching you because they want you to grow. They want the best for you. No, they are wishing for you to always be beneath them. So some people are like that. Some men are like that. After a relationship, they don't want you to grow. If you get into a relationship with someone that is above them in every way, it becomes a problem. You'll start fighting with insecurity and all that. So that's one of the reasons why some men stick around. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click this video here to watch why you shouldn't take your ex back. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.